Okay, Algebra 2, today we're going to be doing Unit 7.4, and we are basically working on something called nth roots. So let's talk about that first before I get into my spiel on this. What do I mean by nth roots? These notes are thorough, and they show everything. But I know that a lot of us have a hard time reading compact information like this and making sense out of it. So I'm going to talk about nth root. I'm going to go to the notes here and basically highlight it. You know what we're talking about when we say nth roots because I'm going to go over here, we have done square roots before, and the square roots, even though there's no little 2 there, it's implied there is actually a little 2 there. And the square root of 16 means that it's 4. And why is that? Because 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Okay, so I'm going to take 2. I'm going to take 2 times 2 times 2. And I know that that's going to equal 8. So if I said, hey, take the cube root, notice that 3, and again, even though we don't see the 2 there, it's implied there's a 2 there, this little 3 here says, and I say take the cube root of 8, this says there's a number that if I multiply it by itself by 3 times, I will get 8. And that number is 2 in this case. Okay, I'm going to take another number. I'm going to take 3 times 3 times 3. That is equal to 27. If I said take the third root of that, the third root in this case, look over here. We gotta see the n. See that n? We're dealing with the nth root. Today we're going to learn how to go beyond just third. We're going to go how to fourth root, the fifth root, etc. So if I take the cube root of 27, I'm going to end up with 3. Okay. Now I'm going to do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And that actually comes out to 81. That comes out to 81. So what if I took the fourth root? What if I took the fourth root of 81? The fourth root of 81, it says there is a number that if I multiply it 4 times, it'll give you 81. What is that number? And that number is 3. Now I'm going to go on my rant. Here's the deal about my rant. There are a lot of rules around nth roots, and these aren't intuitive for most people's minds. I know for myself that anything beyond like square root is just not intuitive for me, and I have to think about it and really put effort into it. So you will be able to solve these. I have like faith that y'all be able to do this, but you're going to have to learn these rules. And I'm gonna nitpick these because these rules don't go away, just like fractions never go away, just like negatives never go away. These never go away. And so we're going to basically talk about it. So I'm going to go over here in your notes and I'm going to show you an example. So check it out. If I said x to the fourth is equal to 625, what does that mean? That means that we multiplied 5. We did 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, and that gives us 625. So what is this? This is 5 to the fourth is equal to 625. And then you can go over here. If I took the fourth root of 625, I'm going to end up with 5. So you'll notice that it takes a little work and a little thought process. Your minds aren't used to this, but y'all have the basic idea already down since we've done this before. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and talk about what you're going to do with negative numbers, and I'll make it, it's pretty simple. It is pretty simple. Even rules. You ready? If I had, whoops-a-daisy, if I had negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, wow, my God, times negative 2, that would give me negative 8. So if I took the cube root of negative 8, check it out, it would actually be negative 2. But if I said, hey, y'all, I want you to go ahead and take the square root of 16, this square root function, when there's no other x squareds around, is only going to give you the positive number in return. So the square root of 16 is 4. Well, what if I had the square root of negative 16 in here? Since it's only dealing with positive numbers in this case, what do we do with that negative? We turn it into an I. So the negative 1 ends up being an I. So what's the rule? If it is an odd power, so 3, 5, whatever else, then your square root of your negative, or like not the square root, the nth root of your negative 1 is equal to negative 1. If you took the 7th roots of negative 1, it is equal to negative 1. And you can play with this yourself and see, but I don't have time for it in the video. So that's how that works. But if I took the square root of negative 1, we're dealing with I. If I took the 4th roots of negative 1, then I would essentially get I. So that's the rule. The negative powers inside there, you have to look. If it's odd, then you're good. So this is going to be the main lecture. This is the base things. It's kind of the boring dump of information, and then I'm going to do the examples in the next problem.